All right, so here we are ready to go. I haven't quite figured out how to get that all started and rolling at the same time, so bear with me. So anyway, we're here to finish up about protein quality in vegetarian diets, and so let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, let's just clarify what is a vegetarian diet. And so think of the term vegetarian as an umbrella term, and that it is a general term, and that there are several different types of vegetarians under that big umbrella heading. So today we are going to talk about three types of vegetarians. But first, I want you guys to realize when you look at this picture that a balanced meal doesn't have to include meat to be tasty and nutritious, and it doesn't have to be made of weird food either. This is a pasta salad, and in it you see pasta with beans, so we have our complete protein there, and we have some other vegetables added in, and then you see some cheese sprinkled on top, so this could be, depending on the type of vegetarian, it could be regular cheese, or for someone that eats no animal products, perhaps that would be made from soy. So we're going to talk about three types of vegetarians today. The first one is called lacto-ovo vegetarians, and lacto-ovo vegetarians eat milk and eggs. So lacto means milk, ovo means eggs. They don't eat any other animal products, just milk and eggs. And then we have vegans, which are complete vegetarians, no animal products whatsoever, and that includes honey. And then our last category we're going to mention today is called a flexitarian or a semi-vegetarian. And this usually applies to people that don't eat any red meat, although it could be also used by people that maybe give up all animal foods for a period of time, but maybe on a holiday or special occasion they might eat. So there are other types of vegetarians, but these would be the three main categories that I would want you to know about. And I'd like you to take a look at this picture. And if you can look at all the different kinds of foods in it, and take a minute and think about what type of vegetarian diet the foods in this picture represent. Okay, so hopefully you guys picked out lacto-ovo because you see the milk and the eggs here. Alrighty. So just wanted to spend some time talking about vegan diets because I actually do have a number of athletes that come to see me every year that are interested in becoming vegan, and there are a number of vegan professional athletes that have great performance records. So let's spend some time learning a little bit about this type of diet. First of all, I want you to know I totally support a vegan diet, that if it's planned properly, it can be one of the healthiest types of diets for everyone to follow and for the health of the planet. There are, though, some important things you need to know. First of all, a lot of times I will encounter, say, younger athletes that are maybe in high school that decide that they want to be vegan, about, they have concerns about the environment or about animals and so forth, but they're really not quite welcoming of trying to eat alternative foods to meat to give them the nutrients they need. And when I interview them, I find out they're really more of what I would call a junketarian. And a junketarian might be someone that's given up all animal products, but eating a lot of junk foods that are animal free. So, they're living on white bread, potato chips, Skittles, pretzels, really just processed junk food that doesn't have, or refined foods that don't have any animal protein or animal products in them. And that is not being vegan. Being vegan is a lifestyle, and a big part of it is cooking and preparing whole foods. So if you live like a junketarian and you're vegan, you can actually end up getting a lot of nutritional deficiencies. So if you want to be vegan, do your research, get educated from reliable sources, and in particular, you need to know about some special concerns. So because you're not eating any animal products, you do need to be concerned about getting all 9 essential amino acids, and that means that you need to complement your proteins throughout the day. So you're eating legumes with grains, for example, and doing that on a regular basis. Vitamin B12 is a huge concern for vegans because vitamin B12 only is found naturally in animal foods. So if you cut out all animal foods and you don't make some allowance in your diet to either eat foods that are fortified with B12, or in most cases, I do recommend a vitamin B12 supplement for vegans to take on a daily basis to make sure that they're getting an adequate amount. If you are lacking B12 in your diet, you can get really, really sick. You can get a form of anemia called macrocytic anemia. And there's that stereotype that sometimes vegetarians look white and pasty, and that would be because they could be anemic either due to the vitamin B12 deficiency or the iron deficiency. But by and large, most vegetarians are really healthy people, so I don't like to reinforce that stereotype at all. Calcium and vitamin D come, primarily in dairy products. So if you're vegan, you have to find, again, other food sources that are going to give you calcium and vitamin D. So the plant-based milks that are really popular today are a great way to do that. So almost all of them, the almond milks, the soy milk, the oat milk, the plant-based blend milks, the coconut milk, they all have calcium and vitamin D added to them, so that, a cup or two, you would need a couple cups a day to help meet your needs. And you can also choose calcium fortified orange juice, and that has the vitamin D added too. Vegetables like broccoli have calcium in them, but you have to eat a lot of broccoli to get the same amount of calcium you would in a cup of milk. And the calcium in plant foods is not as well absorbed, but it can add up, but you really do need to be consistent and learn your food sources. And iron and zinc, meat is a wonderful source of iron and zinc as well. So if you're not eating any meat, you have to look for plant sources of iron. So beans are a great source of iron. Fortified grains are a great source of iron. And so what you can do with plant sources of iron is eat a vitamin C rich food along with that. And the vitamin C is what we call an iron enhancer, and it helps to increase the absorption of the iron that is found in plant foods. So again, essential amino acids, B12, calcium, vitamin D, iron, and zinc, these are some nutrients of concern for vegans. So as long as you do your research and you make that commitment and you know what foods to choose and you do it continuously, you really don't have much to worry about. All right, and then here with our last slide, we're just looking at some protein alternatives to meat. So legumes, so any kind of beans, black beans, red beans, navy beans. So if you like red beans and rice, black beans and rice, you like minestrone soup, which usually has pasta and noodles in it, those are some good examples. And then soy is a legume, but we know that soy, as we learned in the previous video, is a complete protein. So some of the things we have pictured here are like soy milk. We have cubes of tofu, and tofu has a very bland taste to it. It's rubbery in texture. So the beauty of tofu is that it changes as you cook it. So it absorbs the flavors of the spices and the sauces that you put in with it. So tofu crumbles and things like that, they work great with tomato sauce, so you can make really good chili with it or lasagna with it. There's different textures of tofu, so you could get like silky soft tofu, and you could make shakes with that, or you could make cheesecake with that. You could get very firm tofu that you can marinate and grill. Over here we have soybeans that are roasted. They make a great snack. Here in the green, this is edamame. So you eat the young soybeans inside. They're great in salads. This is tempeh, which is made from fermented soybeans, and this is soy cheese. And then lastly, we have over here our nuts and nut butters. So again, it doesn't just have to be peanut butter, almond butters. Another one that's really popular, sunflower butter, cashew butter. They all work. So that's just a little bit about vegetarian diets. What you all are going to do now is, kind of review this information, and there's going to be a short quiz for you to take, and then you'll move on to the next topic. It's great again seeing you guys, and I hope all of you are well.